This week on Dak and Jew, we have a special springtime treat for you.
I thought you were going to say a special surprise, and I was like, we've already done that.
No, springtime treat! We are making strawberry shortcake because strawberries are here. All right, first things first, we are going to put our dry ingredients into this bowl.
So we're measuring 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
Next, we're going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt.
Ooh. We froze 4 sticks of butter, and we're only going to use 2, and we'll show you why. Oh my gosh, I just cut it in half. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, ignore this one, I messed up. Got too excited and I cut through. We're just gonna score the paper at the 4 tablespoon mark. Peel it back, just like that. So even though we only need 2 sticks of butter, we're scoring it halfway because grating butter without having something to hold on to, as we're about to see because I accidentally cut one in half, is really hard. So then we're just going to toss the butter in with the flour until the butter is evenly coated. As always, when using butter and flour, you want to work quickly so that the butter stays as cold as possible. Okay, so we forgot for a second that we are making these sweet biscuits and not savory. Now you know the difference. You can make this as a savory recipe. So we need 1/2 cup of white sugar. So I'm just gonna add it in now. Fine, it'll be fine.
Which is why it's a great recipe.
It'll all be fine.
You can adapt it either way, you know?
Just give it a little toss-a-rooney.
Yes. We are going to add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and 1 cup of buttermilk that's been in the freezer to chill it, make it really, really cold.
So then we're just going to fold in both of the liquids to the flour mixture. We want it to be combined and form a shaggy dough, but we don't want to overwork. Sorry, I'm like crowding you again. So we turn our dough out onto a surface. It's fairly dry. If it seems like way too dry, then you can add like a tiny bit more liquid, but I think this is gonna come together. So just knead it a couple times, bring it together in a shaggy ball.
Shaggy ball. So I have just patted this out into a approximately 9 by 13 rectangle. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna fold it in half twice.
Oh.
It's a 2-person job.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Dakota does it by herself. We're kind of laminating our dough. So by folding it like this and cutting in the butter into chunks like we did before, we're creating all these really beautiful layers. Yeah.
And so we folded it twice, but we need to do it in another 9 by 13.
We're gonna roll it out until it's about 3/4 of an inch thick.
We're gonna do that same process again
with the double folds. The dough is also starting to get really nice and smooth, which is exactly what we're looking for.
So we've rolled it out twice, and we're just going to put it on a lightly floured plate and put it in the freezer for just a couple minutes because it's getting a little warm.
All right, here we go again.
Take the Big Daddy out of the freezer. Really important that the butter doesn't melt because then it would form gluten and we would have a tough biscuit, which is not desirable.
So we are going to cut out our first batch of biscuits now. We're gonna use our little biscuit cutter. I suppose you could use like a glass and a knife if you didn't have a biscuit cutter.
I used a glass last weekend because I couldn't find these, and then Julie reminded me where they are in my own house.
Yeah, I don't even live here and I still know where they are. So Dakota's just lightly flouring the outside so they don't stick. Punching that down. I wish you could see how beautiful this dough looks. You really can see the layers.
I just want to eat it like this, like I don't know if you can see this, but it's like, look at that.
All right, it's like a hockey puck.
It is like a hockey puck, but it won't be hard like a hockey puck.
Yeah, sorry, a horrible descriptor.
You do not need a mouth guard to defend yourself against these babies.
Just let them ride in. Preheating the oven to 450 degrees.
Yep.
If you have a pastry brush, use it now.
I lost mine.
We're using a paper towel.
Little sprinkle of turbinado. If you don't feel like buying a second kind of sugar, it's reasonable, and so you can just use regular sugar.
This is 4 biscuits for me and 4 biscuits for Dakota for tonight.
That one's really good.
Yeah, but I keep staring at that.
Same. Wow, wow, wow. So whipped cream is just heavy whipping cream, whipped. The point is to like add air to the cream, and that's what will make it fluffy. So if you're just going like this all day, it might take all day.
You'll be here all day.
But you want to get this like kind of upward motion, like as if you're adding air to it.
Have you ever seen those chefs that are like walking around the kitchen like this?
Yeah, I'm not that smooth as you're about to see, but I try. It's getting thick, which means there's more resistance.
Why is it burn?
Oh, I don't think I could do it with my other arm. Let me try.
Whoa. Really? Oh my god.
So once it gets to be sort of frosting-like, this is when I add the sugar and a little bit of vanilla. So I didn't measure the cream, so there's no recipe for this, but you just do it to taste. So I probably added just like a tablespoon.
I like a less sweet whipped cream.
Same.
Especially because the biscuits are sweet because of the ½ cup of sugar we added.
And then a little drizzle of vanilla.
Mm.
Also, sometimes if your cream really isn't whipping, sometimes it helps just put the whole thing in the freezer for just like 30 seconds. So I also really don't like an over whipped cream. I think that cans of whipped cream have thwarted the way that we envision what whipped cream should look like. Really, like this is done. Like it's like,
It's done.
like that's great, that's great.
These are big babies.
Well, as you can see, layers of flavor, like
So
holy moly.
So many layers. This is why we do this. Sugar, crunchy, layery, buttery, flaky, crunchy.
Can't wait. I honestly am just wanting to sink my teeth into it right now, but I will resist.
Oh, mommy.
So we've tossed the strawberries in a little lemon and sugar.
We're gonna put some in there.
And then if you're serving the whole daddy, yeah.
Wow, you just Dakota's like teary with joy right now.
I'm nervous. Like I don't.
Oh. Oh.
Honestly, I'm so in love that I had to take another bite before I could even say anything.
Mm-hmm. I like this part.
Yeah, that part is so good. Like when I saw you pick that up,
You were jealous, weren't you?
my heart jumped out of my chest.
Mm-hmm.